YouTube salute here with my review for The Last Dance episode 3 and 4. And before I begin, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. Also, cast your vote for Kofi's Hip Hop Hall of Fame. The link is in the description. All right, so much to talk about, so much I have to get off my mind. So let me start with Dennis Rodman first. So you see Dennis Rodman, his last year with the Bulls, the season of 1997, 1998. And at the time when Pippen is out, Rodman becomes the second, leader on the team as far as like Jordan's giving his attention to. And he loves that. He feels like, okay, yes, I feel like this is me. This is what I want. I want that attention. And you can tell when Pippen comes back, Rodman's more like, what about me? What about me? And he becomes a distraction because at that time he's dating Carmen Electra, and he asked Phil Jackson, I need time off. I need to get my head together. Give me 48 hours. And, Jordan's looking like, what the hell kind of F is this? Like, dude, come on, man. For real? You going to really do this at this time? We're in the game, but he said, give him 48 hours, and that's all you get, because he wanted a vacation. But he took more than 48 hours. Jordan had to actually go get Rodman and say, come back. But even Rodman coming back after a couple of days, it actually helped him. It, re-energized him, made him feel better. Like, I might be a distraction, but at the end of the day, I have needs too. Then you see Dennis Rodman from college being drafted to the Detroit Pistons, being a bad boy, learn how to be a great defensive player, knowing his role was great at being a great rebounder, blocking shots, and guarding the best offensive person like in the paint. So you see this transition. You see him leaving Detroit Pistons as being traded in 1993 and going to San Antonio Spurs at that time. Then he started to date Madonna, and she kind of actually got him to open up and him to be himself when he wanted to. People thought he was just being crazy. Like, why the hell is this fool acting like this? This is too much. So you see all this, and you see Dennis Rodman being a free agent in 1995. Yes, it was 1995. And they felt that Rodman, his chance of, helping the Bulls will be everything. And at first, Phil Jackson didn't want to bring him there because he felt that this fool was going to just do too much. But bringing him there, they knew that Phil, Jordan, and Pippen would kind of keep him balanced. So, and it worked out in the second repeat. The second three-peat, excuse me. So from there, now you have Michael Jordan as far as they finally get past the first round, which was in 1987, when Jordan hit that game-winning shot versus the Cavs. That boosted his confidence to say, hey, you know what? We can do this, and we can go to the next level. Nothing can stop us now. We can move forward. But from there, you see so many other things happening with Jordan as far as like they ran into the Detroit Pistons, a.k.a. the Bad Boys, where you have Isaiah Thomas, you have Joe Dumars, who was like one of the best defensive players in the NBA. You had Bill Laimbeer. You had Dennis Rodman. You had Rick Mahorn, John Sally. It was so many players on that team, and they had this thing about themselves that, you had the Lakers, you had the Celtics. That was their rivalry, but they knew they had to separate themselves from these teams. So they came with this toughness, this tenacity of, we're going to push you around and we're going to run the court. We're going to own the court, and you ain't going to do nothing about it. And a lot of people don't realize in the 80s and even early 90s, even before that, like, if you was getting fouled, the referees wasn't really gonna save your ass like that. Compared to the 2000s and 2020 now, you get fouled. Oh yeah, technical foul. Shit, back in the day, you get punched in your damn chest. They ain't gonna say shit. You can get a flagrant foul, but it really wasn't a flagrant foul because the referees was just sit there and allow that shit to happen. So Jordan, at this time, he knew he went up against a powerhouse with the Bulls, and it was just too much because they was like letting him know, like, hey, we here, we're gonna be in your face, we're gonna be in your chest. And remember, at this time, Phil Jackson's not even a coach. You have Doug Collins. Let's jump into Doug Collins. And he is doing a great job, don't get me wrong, because he's getting the Bulls to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're coming up short. But Tex Winters, he's actually has a playbook and wants to, incorporate the triangle offense, but Doug Collins is like, no. He's like, I don't want to, have that. I know what I'm doing. Doug Collins gets terminated. So they bring in a new coach at this time, which Phil Jackson was the assistant coach, and he is appointed to be head coach. And this is the 89 season, going into 89-90 season. So Phil Jackson's like, we got the plan. We know exactly what to do. Everything's going to work itself out. And at this time, everything is going their way. As far as the Bulls, they're doing everything they need to do. Jordan feels like, hey, this is my moment. I know we can do this. But they come up short in 1990 finals is because at that time, it was Game 7 in Detroit, but Pippen felt like he had a headache. Excuse me. He had a headache. He had a double vision. It was blurry, and it was no way he can play. So that summer, Jordan just told the whole team, like, hey, we got to get stronger. So they went into the weight room, and they just went hard, everything they was doing. They felt like, we was that close, and they were supposed to win. So the mentality of Jordan felt like, I'm going to get stronger, that not only you're not going to bully us around, we're going to be the bullies now. We're going to be the bullies. Jordan felt, to me, that he didn't want to be known as this scorer as far as getting all these scoring titles. Yes, he's winning MVPs. Yes, he's winning the All-Star MVPs. Yes, he's winning the Defensive Player of the Year in 1998. Yes, he's winning the Slam Dunk award, the trophy. He's getting that. Okay, he's doing all this stuff. He's, leading the league in steals. Okay, that's cool, but Jordan wants to be considered one of the greats. He wants to be up there with Bird, Magic Johnson. But at that time, it was more like a stigma that he couldn't get to that level. It's like, oh no, he's just good at what he do. He's a great player. He's gonna always probably get those accolades, but he won't be able to get the ring. So he felt that he needed to get over the hump. That was his main thing, is getting over the hump. And I felt like from watching episode 3 and 4 that you saw how that shot when Jordan made against the Cavs in the playoffs in the towards the late 80s, that got him out the first round for the first time. That was more his confidence growing, that nothing can stop him. So when 1991 came, when they played the Detroit Pistons again, they swept the Pistons. And the Pistons had no answer, because not only it wasn't even about Jordan, it was a team effort from the Bulls. You had Pippen, is more involved than ever. You had John Paxson, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, B.J. Armstrong. You have all these players that's actually doing everything on the team that's allowing the team to go to the next level. Because Jordan, at that time, when Doug Collins was a coach, everything was like, give the ball to Jordan, let Jordan create. But it wasn't enough. They wanted Jordan to trust his teammates, and that was Phil Jackson. His philosophy is like, it has to be the team to do this, to take the pressure off Jordan, because of course he's going to get double team, of course he's going to get triple team, but it can't always just be in his hands. Allow your other teammates to help you win. So sweeping the Pistons in 1991, then seeing how the Pistons left the court with like 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter in Game 4, showed no sportsmanship at all. And Isaiah Thomas tried to play it off like, oh no, that's how it was then. But Jordan said no, because I like how Jordan responded back. He was like, no, because when we lost in 80-90 in the Eastern Conference Finals, I went up to everybody and shook their hand and I gave them their respect. He said, even though it hurt, but they couldn't accept that they got their ass whooped. They got their ass handed to them, and they wasn't the bullies no more. The bad boys wasn't the bad boys after that. And then in 1991, this is like the most anticipated match I remember, because I won't forget, me and my dad and my older sister, we was in Fort Benning, Georgia, and we was watching this because I was actually watching the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, Magic Johnson versus Michael Jordan. And I remember when the Bulls lost that first game, I was like, damn, they lost the first game. But they came back and won 4 games straight, and they won their first championship. And you saw how Jordan, he wanted it more than anything, and he was going to get that. Like, you know what? It was just like witnessing the how can I describe this? It was like a painting being, like a painter just making a paint right in front of your face. It was the changing of the guard, basically. It went from Magic was at the top and everybody knew that, and Jordan just said, it's mine now. This is my turn. I'm going to control the NBA, not through accolades, but through the rings. I'm going to dominate now. And Scottie Pippen, he still doesn't get the credit he deserves when it comes to being a great defensive player, because he locked up Michael Jordan in that damn finals. He was locking up Jordan. He was guarding, Scottie Pippen was locking up Magic Johnson. My apologies. He was locking up Magic Johnson all the way 94 feet of the court. He was putting clamps on him. And people don't even talk about that. Jordan having his first ring, earning his first ring in 1991. How he expressed himself, his teammates, they looked at him like, damn, we always see him as being this hard-nosed person in practice on the court. But he just opened up. Like, it took 7 years to finally get it. And he earned it. And what I take away from this episodes 3 and 4 is just the fact that you see Jordan growing as the last couple of years in the 80s to the early 90s to get his ring. But at the same time, in the last year, and this is around January 1998, Jordan, is more his connection of he's earned that status as not just the best player in the NBA, but being dominant as far as having the greatest team in the 90s in basketball. So that's what I took from this review, is this Jordan coming into it. It was like a coming of age party for Jordan, and it's like a exiting party for Jordan in 1998. So you just like you seeing Jordan last hoorah. So let me know what you think if you watched the episodes 3 and 4. If you haven't, please check it out when you get a chance. And post your comments below. Hulk smash Black Panther, the like button, subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. If you'd like to support and donate to the channel, I have Patreon, patreon.com/KofiUniverse. Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Streamlabs, everything's in the description. Until next time, peace.